need to check it out and try to get a repayment plan going on before they do that, because I can't afford to have my wages seized.
The Trump administration announcing today it's moving forward with a plan to begin seizing pay from student loan borrowers in default. We could see that change come as soon as January. Ozarks First, Michael McLaughlin live in Springfield tonight. He spoke to a resident still paying off her debt today and a financial advisor on how people can stay in control of their money.
Right, so when someone doesn't make a loan payment within 9 months, it'll then become defaulted, meaning that the government will have the right to take around 15% of their wage to pay off said debt.
I was not aware of that. They have already been seizing my tax refund every year.
Jessica Carey tells me she still has a significant amount of student debt to pay off.
I think it's about 60 grand or something like that. I got a bachelor's degree, then I went to grad school for a year, and then I did some other stuff and borrowed a bunch.
She says she can't afford to go into default.
I really do need to check it out and try to get a repayment plan going on before they do that, because I can't.
Trump ain't playing around. He said, give me that money back. So now that they starting to do now, instead of waiting for your taxes to hit to do garnishing for your student loan debt, what they gonna do now is they going after your check. This is what happens when you get these dumbass degrees that don't make you no money after you graduate. This is what happens. You put out all this debt and you get the dumbest degree ever and you don't make no money. So now you in debt. You gotta pay that back one way or another. How many people got their degree, got a job that has nothing to do with your degree? It's a lot of Americans. About $1.8 trillion in total student loan debt is currently owed by Americans. Federal student loans make a vast majority, roughly 1.66 to 1.67 trillion. This is the reason why we in debt. It's because of us. That's the reason why they put in these terms and these limits on what you need to use your federal funding for, because you guys are getting these degrees and not doing nothing with it. She got a bachelor's degree. She did something else afterwards, but she can't make no money because she probably got a dumbass degree. College is whack. This is why we are in the debt. $1.8 trillion in student debt. So if people pay back their student debt, we won't be in debt in the country. We're borrowing to go to get education from these schools that don't help you get a job to where you can pay it back. This is the reason why Trump is cracking down on these colleges, cracking down requirements, cracking down how much money you can borrow. It's because these colleges have been taking advantage of people. Come get a degree. You'll make a lot of money. You'll get the degree. They don't help you get a job. They put you in a bad situation. Now you got to pay back the loan. But how can you pay back the loan when you don't have a job? Isn't that one of the biggest scams in America is student loan debt? How about we just make it to a point where you don't get student loans? You just don't go to college. It's either you can afford it or not. College should just be a rich man's sport. How many schools make money off of having these kids get the dumbest degrees that available and then doesn't make any money? That's why I love the fact that they're dismantling the Department of Education. They're going to make these student loans be privatized, and then these people are going to be like, okay, what do you want to do? Yeah, you're not going to get any money for that because we see on our scale that that doesn't make any money, so we're not going to give you money to get that degree. Oh, but you can be a plumber, electrician. We'll put money to that, but we're not going to put money to an art history degree. I'm sorry, you got to pay for that out of pocket. This is the reason why we're in so much debt. It's the student loan debt. $1.8 trillion? This is ridiculous. Student loan debt is one of the largest categories of consumer debt in the U.S., second only to mortgage debt and even larger than auto loan debt. The average federal borrower carries about $39,000 in student loans and tens of millions owed monthly payment. All Trump doing is he's collecting. I'm not waiting till you file your taxes. I just need that check. I'm going to start treating y'all like child support payments. Every check you get, we garnishing. So now what you going to do? Tell your kids, if you got kids, and you won't let your kids do this because you'll have plenty of money to pay for college, you're not getting no loan. What you're going to do is you're going to go to city college and work. We're going to pay for that. But you ain't going to go to no 4-year university, trick it off, partying, not even learning nothing, and then you get a whack-ass degree. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. And that's all Trump doing. Trump is just basically saying, I need my bread back.
Can't afford to have my wages seized. Tax season's coming up, and I don't want them to, I really needed that refund this year, so I don't know what to do.
I spoke to Richard Baker with Fervent Wealth Management. He tells me the first thing borrowers should do is see what can be done to get caught up on payments.
You don't want to owe Uncle Sam money, right? So do whatever you can. They're workable, they're common sense people. So reach out to them saying, what payments do I need to make? Is a minimum payment I need to do to get out of default so that you can be in control.
And then adjust your weekly budget accordingly.
The main thing on your budget is to make it breathable. You don't want the anxiety, you don't want the stress. So figure out ways to lower what you can. And it's usually those big lever items. It's your rent, it's your budget, it's your gas, it's your utilities.
For those struggling in Springfield, Baker recommends taking advantage of local resources.
Credit counseling services is part of the Catholic Charities here in town, and they are excellent to work with. They can give people, sit with them side by side, help them work on their budgets, and even at times call their debtors, their creditors, credit card companies, and do some negotiating on their behalf.
And the Department of Education says that it'll notify borrowers before the collections happen, giving them an opportunity to catch up. Reporting live in Springfield, I'm Mike McLaughlin.
I think the best thing you can do now, and I used to be like this, and I'm going back towards this thinking, if you don't have the cash to fully pay for it, then don't do it. We are living on this thing where now when you see high credit card debt, high debt, and what I've started seeing is I start to go back to my old ideology. If I don't have the cash to buy it outright, I don't want it, nor do I need it. If you can't go to the school and pay for it out of pocket, then you shouldn't be going to school getting a loan. I believe you appreciate things more when you're paying for things out of your own pocket. Because what people have been doing is they've been professional schoolgoers. They'll go for this degree, have no intention of going to work, but it's for free at that moment because of student loans. But I really start to believe that people are going to start shifting to how I'm thinking more now. Cash is king. If I want to go to school, look at all the ways that it's cheaper for you to go to school and go to that school. It does not matter what school you go to anymore. It doesn't really matter. But also, too, when you're paying cash for something, you're a little more strict about where you're going to spend that money. You're not going to be just popping up here, popping up there. You're going to be like, you know what? Do I really love this degree? Will I really make money? See, we need to start doing information and start doing research on a career we choose and how much money you can make before you jump in that career. A lot of people make a mistake of getting to college and say, I don't want to do that, I'll switch. All you're doing is mounting up debt, and the university is looking at you like, yeah, go to school for another 2 or 3 years. We're making money off you. But this is what happens now with our government. They're coming to collect. They're not waiting for IRS anymore. They are waiting. You're going to be working, getting that check, and I'll get my percentage. I might take all of it. I might take some of it. So what are you going to do? We have a high, debt ceiling or debt or whatever for America. It's because we were too lenient at giving out the money. We were too lenient on giving out money to people that abused it. And the college student loans or the student loans is a big reason for that. Huge reason. People were abusing it, getting these degrees that make no sense, going to college and not really preparing for the workplace. And then you got these colleges not even helping them get hired after they get out of college. That's a huge problem. So if you owe your student loans, you better figure it out or your check gonna be gone. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. It's always gonna keep this thing rocking, keep it going. I appreciate everybody's opinion. Hit the notification bell to see all the new videos. We're gonna be cranking them out. Nobody's gonna outwork me in 2026. You should have that same mentality. Go get her. Patreon coming soon. Also, too, what do we have? We're gonna have the daily show, which is gonna be fun, informative, talk about everything. So I appreciate you guys. I'm out.